got my coffee. I haven't finished it yet because this is morning reading. I usually do these at night. I've got challenge cards, advice cards, which I haven't looked at. The only thing I flipped over was underneath the decks. So under the tarot deck, we're getting the Hierophant upright. Okay, Justice reversed, Strength reversed, and even the Eight of Wands in the reverse. I'm already getting messages. Let me look under the Oracle. Okay, we're getting Shekinah, the presence of the divine feminine. And it says, at the center of everything there is light, and I am that light. The Saint of Authenticity, I am my authentic self in all circumstances. Oh, this came up in my last one. Joan of Arc, the Warrior of Light. That's another card about the light. I have steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. I mean, seeing the card about courage, about needing to find the light, authenticity, and then to see even justice with the strength both in the reverse. Like, there's some karma that needs to be like balanced out. And I mean, in my system of Buddhism, everything, like your experience of your reality is directly correlated to your karma and your mind stream. But so like everything is karmic. But what I mean by this is that it feels like the type of lesson that just can't be avoided. It's like going to require a tremendous amount of courage. This is a spiritual lesson. And I feel like, right as I'm looking, like the message that I'm getting is that like you might have always done things the way that other people do them, like the conventional way, the status quo. Like your life might even look good on paper and other people would be like, what are you bitching about? Like, why are you sad or depressed? Like, you've got it made, like you've got it all. What the fuck are you talking about? You know, however, on a soul level that it's like the word I'm hearing is unrest. You're unsettled. You don't feel right where you are because you know ultimately that's not where you're meant to be. Maybe it was where you were meant to be to learn certain lessons, but I really feel I'm seeing like a tunnel and you need to find the light in the tunnel. You need something to believe in. Guess what, you guys? People find spirituality, they have spiritual awakenings usually when they're at rock bottom. They're in pain. They're suffering. Like someone dies, you have a tremendous loss, you lose all your money, you get sick. You have a near-death experience. Like these are the times when people find faith usually. I don't know, it's the human condition. When we're comfortable, we're not usually seeking the way that we're seeking when we're uncomfortable. So clearly, whoever this is for, you're very uncomfortable. You're not at peace. You're not going to be at peace where you are. I mean, you could technically find peace wherever you are, right? Because it's a state of mind. But I really feel like you've got to get through this lesson. And it's going to take so much courage because you need to believe in something. There's two cards about finding the light. A warrior of light. The light sort of at the end of the tunnel. And you're not being your authentic self right now. That's why you don't feel good. And you can't fake it. I mean, you can fake it. But by faking it, you're suffering. And you're delaying and prolonging the suffering. If you were being your authentic self, I don't think you would feel dissatisfied. I think you'd be in a different situation. So what's the challenge right now? Interestingly, okay, so we're getting the Ace of Cups reversed and the Home card reversed. Like you don't feel maybe where you are, you don't feel loved, or you don't feel like what you're doing and choosing is the most loving thing for you. Like you could be choosing something out of obligation, out of fear, out of guilt, out of shame, out of insecurity, out of scarcity, but it's not love. And it doesn't feel loving to do that, right? It's like you're betraying what you really want. And the Home card is also upside down. It says Hestia, which is the goddess of home and hearth, Vesta or Hestia. It's Greek or Roman. And it says, no matter where I am home. The most sacred sanctuary is found within me. Which is why you're being called, which is why you're having this like spiritual awakening or a deepening of your spiritual growth right now. And it's coming through pain, and it might be coming through pain that you're experiencing in your home life specifically and or in your relationships at home. Ace of Cups. But this is like a huge self-love move. Like doing what you're feeling called to do means you would have to put your needs first, yourself first, maybe like over other people. I'm sure you've never done it before. I'm sure it feels super edgy and risky and you could lose everything. But like you're not at peace. So you can also just like live in that permanent state of unrest or depression. Like You have to, I don't know, at a certain point it becomes so insane, like you just have to take the risk. Or you will probably get sick or something. You can't hold this tension forever. This is why people become addicted to alcohol, to drugs, to porn, to food. This is why people experience illness sometimes, because it's like an emotional distortion and emotional, what do you call it? Yeah, it's like emotional turmoil in their body. It's showing up because it ends up manifesting as something physical, because it's unsettled, trauma and things like that. Let's continue. What's the advice? The advice is the King of Cups in the reverse. I'll clarify these. King of Cups in the reverse, and then Rita of Kasha, the patroness of impossible causes. She's upright. Okay? It says, I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. Okay, so I am really strongly feeling, and I don't know if this message is for a man, not necessarily, but it could be. A man possibly who's feeling, or if you're like a woman and maybe this is a guy that's in your orbit or someone that's in your life, or maybe a romantic interest or a partner or something like that. Like, if this has to do with a masculine energy who feels really depressed or emotionally unsettled, like this is the emotional king. But when it's in the reverse, you're not feeling good emotionally. It's all the shitty feelings that you could be feeling. Anger, depression. It just feels, I'm seeing like mud, like the murkiness. Why would that be the advice? I'm feeling that no matter how low you feel right now, it's like there's something and this will resonate with whomever it's meant to resonate with, but some of us, I don't know, I feel that you have a destiny that you're meant to experience, and therefore you have a tremendous amount of quote unquote support from other realms. If you're here, I'm sure you believe in this. And I truly believe, and I also believe we are incredibly powerful creators, and we can create our own karma, we can create new karma. That's why I just did the 30-day we're in the middle of it, but the 30-day purification meditation challenge is a Buddhist practice on clearing negative karma and creating more positive karmas, like in your mind. So you are incredibly powerful. And it says, my prayers create powerful channels of possibility. If something feels impossible right now, it's not. But you need to believe. And the only way that you experience like faith and believing in something is by believing in it when you have to have blind faith. And I say this because for many years, and you guys that have been on my YouTube, those videos are not published anymore, but like I've been on YouTube since 2015, and I was talking about conscious relationship and sacred union and things where like in some periods of my life, like I was in the dark. Do you know what I mean? Like I was in the dark and I was making this content and talking about these things based on my intuition alone. Later, things came, into the light. Everything was affirmed. Things came back together, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. The point is, I had to do those things, and that's like when this channel grew, was when I was doing things in blind faith, literally. So if you think that but then I got a tremendous amount of support. A lot of things changed and transformed. Yeah, I really feel like whatever you're afraid of, like you don't understand yet, because you're going to have to take a leap of faith without having the guarantee. But there's no way that you'll ever believe in anything if you don't have to take a leap of faith at some point in the dark. I don't think that anyone ever develops true faith until they've done that. So clearly you're on that path. So let's get, I want to clarify, like already getting warm. I want to clarify the challenge card here, and I want to clarify the advice card. That's interesting. Queen of Pentacles came up in my last reading. Okay, I'm just pulling a few more. So on the challenge, we're getting 6 of Cups reversed, 5 of Swords reversed, Emperor reversed. You could be caught in nostalgia from the past. You could be feeling like you lost something that you really wanted. You could be feeling like the reason why this is all happening is because you haven't had the courage or the balls or the fortitude or the faith in yourself and the confidence in yourself to pursue the thing that you want the most. That's what the challenge, like you're not taking ownership of it. You're not stepping up to the plate. That's the challenge. That's why these two cards are in the reverse. Because Six of Cups is about usually about like a soulmate connection or something from your past. That's actually very beautiful and pure and sweet. But right now it's reversed because it could be not happening the way that you want, or that reconciliation isn't happening, or you're caught, like I said, in past memories, but you're not doing anything right now to change it. So if you want to live in nostalgia, best wishes, but it's like a form of escapism. If you want a new life, you're going to have to move your ass. You're going to have to actually do something. Unfortunately, what you're going to have to do will hurt other people. And I mean that in like, if you make a decision that's truly self-loving right now, since it seems that whomever this reading is for, you've abandoned yourself for the status quo, you've abandoned your needs, your desires, your wants, your happiness, your self-respect, or whatever else, your dignity, to do what other people wanted because it was easier. Let's be real. It was just easier. You could hide there. You can just kind of blend into the background like a chameleon, but you never actually have to like stand up for yourself or stand up for what you believe in, or make an uncomfortable change that's going to create loss, and also other people are going to have hurt feelings about it. You haven't done that, which is why you're stuck. So it's up to you. That's why the Emperor is reversed. If you don't step up to the plate literally and be like, I'm ready to play ball, I'm ready to do something, things won't change. But I don't know how long you can stay in that limbo, like I said, without something more dramatic happening, aka another big loss or getting ill or something. So the advice is the Queen of Pentacles upright, and then we're getting Five of Wands reversed, Page of Pentacles reversed. It's interesting because the Queen of Pentacles came up in my last reading along with the Empress as the challenge and the advice. And so I think the advice here is that if there's someone that you admire, that you see doing the things that you would like to be doing, like someone who embodies self-love, someone who is more abundant, somebody who does love themselves and doesn't just talk about it, they walk the talk, they live the teachings, they practice what they preach. If that's in your orbit, it's not there by accident. So have the humility to learn something, but also be inspired that that's your karma to have that example around. You have the good karma to see what's possible. That means it's possible for you too, or you wouldn't be seeing it or perceiving it. So I feel like you've got to let go of all the other opinions or limiting beliefs or haters around you or people that don't get it. Stop wanting everyone else to understand your path. A lot of people aren't going to understand it. Take it from me. You know, sometimes you got to find your community, because you can feel like a lone wolf. People in the mainstream are not going to understand any of this, you guys. Muggles, the normies, the people. It's fine. They're on their path. That's their experience. But they might not get you. And so those aren't your people. So you have to stop looking for their validation and start doing things the way that you know that you need to be doing them. But again, this is going to challenge everything. And I feel like you think you don't have enough to offer. Like the advice is that you might be so obsessed with the material realm, thinking that the only thing that you could possibly have to give would be money or gifts or material things. You're forgetting that your existence is so much more than how much money you have in your bank account. And that's not to say you don't need money or that the material realm is insignificant, because it's not. But if that's how you've based your worth, on what you've got materially and what it looks like superficially on the surface, on the outside, aka you might have a life where people are like, my God, you have it made, you have a beautiful home, or you have a partner, or you have a happy family, or blah blah blah. Oh, it looks really good, but like you're so unhappy. Why would the King of Cups be in the reverse otherwise? You're not happy, whoever this is. So that's it. You're not meant to be like everybody else. Just at one point, you've got to be like, accept it. Accept it and then do things differently. Okay, judgment reversed. This is what you're avoiding. The advice is that you've been avoiding a judgment call that's going to make you feel really exposed. These people are naked, and the angel is literally calling them. It said, the angels armor me with conviction. Like, you've got angelic support, you've got divine support. You don't realize it yet because you haven't taken the risk. But if you do take a risk, which you're going to have to in order to fully complete this karmic lesson, you're going to see that things will work out in a way that you didn't expect. I also want to put this out there because I was talking to my mom about this, and she like was a teacher, like a music teacher, and she got injured. She hated the job because she didn't want to teach young kids. She always wanted to like be a lawyer and be a Supreme Court justice, literally. And it didn't work out because her parents were really poor, and they, you know, she was like that generation where women were supposed to be like secretaries. Long story short, a few years into her teaching job, she manifests the window falling on her head. And she literally, thank God she's okay, but she did have nerve damage. She had to retire very young, like in her 30s, and got a pension for like the rest of her life. Not like tons of money, but she didn't have to work. And then she tried real estate for a little while and didn't really like that either. She was on and off with that. Anyway, we've had many chats about this, and they've been really supportive of me being an entrepreneur because my mom didn't get the chance to do what she really wanted to do. And she's always like, you know, my soul plan, and I'm saying this because I'm feeling this for some reason here with the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, like, and even the King of Cups reverse. Like, she says to me, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. I had all these career ambitions, and I ended up being a mother. And she's like, and that's been my biggest purpose, my joy. And she's an incredible mom, and I'm so grateful every day. But like, I think for many years she felt like unsettled about it too, because she's like, I wanted to do all these other things. It's not my fault, you know what I mean? She's just being honest. She's like, I had all these ambitions, and then I felt like being a mom really has been my biggest journey and joy, even though it's not what I expected and it's not necessarily what she thought she wanted. And I respect that, you know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people underestimate their purpose. Like, your purpose doesn't have to be your job. Your purpose doesn't have to be something that makes you money. Your purpose could be the love that you give to your child. Your purpose could be literally learning unconditional love or compassion. So stop comparing yourself to everyone else, you know? Like, maybe you think that success has to be monetary or that it has to be a career thing. And then you feel like a failure or like a flop if you didn't experience the success that you've wanted. But I'm really feeling like, what if your soul purpose is something different? What if it was to be a parent, and a really good one? Or you've been on a journey and you've had challenges with that, but you're like, you know what, maybe that's my purpose. Or maybe your purpose is in relationship. Maybe your purpose is a partnership and you don't realize it yet. And that is your purpose, to love each other, to learn how to be together, to relate to one another. Like, we've all got different purposes, but we live in this like capitalism, you know, it's all capitalism. You've got to be productive to be worth anything, and it's not true. As I'm saying it, I wasn't even looking, the Midas card fell out of the deck. That is affirming for me that, I'll read you what it says, but this card about wealth and money, but also that like the material realm is not all that matters, but you might have been obsessed with that because it gave you an illusion of being successful. Like, I know people who are with a partner who's extremely wealthy or extremely quote unquote successful in their career, and maybe they're not, and they're in partnership together, and then it makes them feel more successful to be with a successful person, because it's like they're kind of like riding on that coattails, but like deep down they feel insecure because it wasn't their success, number one, and number two, maybe that's not what your soul wants, and so why are you fixated on it? We're conditioned this way. I'm gonna actually pull one though. I'll read you what that means. So you can have this illusion of being really successful, but deep down you're fucking miserable, and you're like, well, I should be happy, and like, but again, maybe that it's not even your success. It's like your partner's dream, and you're like, but that wasn't my dream. But being in that situation allows you to kind of hide behind their success, but then deep down you feel resentful because you didn't do what you wanted to do. I don't know. It's like weird. Wow, we're getting the Jesus card, Yeshua. I was talking about this, wasn't I, at the beginning? About Jesus and Mary Magdalene and him literally having to make a meaningful sacrifice. He had to die to then be reborn. But in the mystery teachings of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, like the Magdalene manuscript, that was the love of her life. And they were like tantric practitioners. They were practicing tantric things that were allowing him to energize his like energy body to reappear to people. They could see him because his energy body was so charged up after death. Read this Magdalene manuscript if you vibe with that. It's not going to be for everybody. Okay, so I'll read that one first because I just opened the book to it. Yeshua. This is the overall advice. It says, the stab of betrayal cuts deep, making you lose faith. There's that word again. Soothe your aching heart as you move through the tears and pain. And it says that there's a wealth of lessons to glean from his life and experiences, including his unwavering devotion to his cause, profound teachings, compassionate wisdom, and an intimate exploration of the core human experience marked by adversity, betrayal, and resistance. Yeah, and it's a very similar story with Isis and Osiris, right? Where like Osiris is murdered by his brother, I think it's his brother or his cousin, and Isis basically brings him back to life through unconditional love, her devotion. His dismembered body, she brings all the parts back together in the myth, so that they can make love one more time before he's dead. Like, she brings him back to life just long enough to create a third entity, which is Horus, their child, or this like higher consciousness, and then, you know, he's immortal. So it's a very similar storyline here. And the key here is devotion and unconditional love, but also working through that lesson of betrayal. And it says sometimes you're blindsided, you know, you look back and you're like, man, I should have done things differently. I should have had stronger boundaries. I should have done this, that, and the other thing. All right, well, give yourself time to grieve. It says you're not to blame for bad behavior directed at you, although it is important to hold yourself accountable for the choices you make afterwards. Remaining open is beneficial if you desire experiencing intimacy and connection, and so is honoring yourself and choosing where to place your loyalty so you don't keep feeling the burn of betrayal again and again. Yeah, see, so betrayal must be part of the story here. And then it says, Midas, gently consider where you're choosing to prioritize your valuable time and energy. When pursuing a desire, the chase is often more about the experience or emotion that you're going to get than the actual attainment of the object itself. And it says sometimes the only thing worse than your dreams not coming true is for them to come true with unexpected or undesirable consequences. When based on distorted desire, the pursuit of happiness can be ineffectual. Attainment without self-actualization can leave you feeling trapped in a gilded cage of your own making. Period. Did you hear that? It says being content doesn't mean that you stop desiring change or you don't have goals to strive towards. Enjoy the process, but don't be so connected. Like, don't connect your happiness to the outcome, because that's where you get disappointed. When the arrival of a manifestation doesn't bring the expected ecstatic joy, it can be incredibly disappointing. Arriving at a state of contentment outside of big life wins will help you enjoy those moments without being so attached to them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was saying in the beginning. Maybe your life looks good on paper, or you've achieved a lot of things, or, you know, whatever. And people would be like, well, you should be satisfied. But you're realizing that those goals without self-actualization, without the spiritual piece of it, without your own self-mastery, don't mean shit. They didn't bring you lasting happiness. It was fleeting. And that's Buddhism. Ignorant desire. That's why we're doing the meditation challenge on addiction or a painful habit, because you think that we have this distorted false belief, because we don't understand karma and emptiness, that the happiness or the pleasure is coming from that attainment. But you hit the goal and then you crave something else. It's never enough, because that's not where happiness really comes from. It's coming from within you. It's self-generated. It starts in your mind. So that's a deeper discussion. But the point is, that's it. I feel like if you've achieved a lot, but you're not happy, well, welcome to the human experience. You've got to get off the wheel of madness, of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You also might feel betrayed. I don't know about what exactly. It depends on your circumstances, but it's like you've got to work through that grief too and understand that wherever you landed, like, you landed there for a reason, but you can also make a new choice. And you can trust people. There are people that you can trust. But if you can also become a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, don't trust anybody, and then all you attract are people who are deceptive. Or you just make assumptions. Everyone's out to get me. Everyone's lying. Everyone's full of shit. Everyone's going to stab me in the back. And what do you keep attracting? That same exact shit. So also, you're the common denominator here. You have to be the change that you want to see. There's a lot here. This feels like fully loaded. Let me cut the deck to one more. Ra. I think it's the sun god. Another card about light, an Egyptian god. Let's just read that one real quick. It says, enhance your joy, abundance, and play by... I'm so blind. My Lord, my eyes at like 40 went. Okay, enhance your joy, abundance, and play by emulating the energy of the sun. Radiance, warmth, and life force will bring you sustenance after a period of heaviness and release. And it says, yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's all these cards about the light and the sun. I literally made a podcast that's coming out tonight. It's called Pleasure as Medicine, especially when life gets hard, because this is something that I've been talking about. I just posted about it on Instagram the other day. You need levity, you need play, you need joy to carry you through the dark moments, because if it's all heavy, I mean, then you're going to be depressed. So those things are medicinal. They're really healing and sacred. Like I said, this was so layered. There's so many messages in this reading. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I feel that your destiny is to actually be genuinely happy. And to be genuinely happy, I feel that you're going to have to do things differently. You're going to have to break a cycle. You might have to walk away from some material attainment that you achieved, whether it's a relationship, a job thing, a career thing, or whatever it is, and leave it behind because it didn't actually bring you happiness. In fact, it was probably incredibly disappointing and you felt really disillusioned by that. You might have even had to betray people to get it, and then you're like, you ultimately are feeling betrayed because you betrayed yourself. So then you manifested that coming full circle. And it's like, but again, you've got to offer yourself forgiveness and compassion and understand that nobody is perfect. This is how we learn, you guys. You learn through doing the thing. You learn by going through the trials and tribulations. So you can also give yourself some grace, but you've got a big choice to make. And again, let's just end it on this positive reminder. The patroness of impossible causes saying, call on me, I will help you. You're getting like divine angelic support to work through something that looks impossible. Like a miracle is available to you. If you believe that it is. I truly, and I'm not saying to be delulu, but not everybody has that kind of, like, not everybody gets these messages. So if you're receiving this message, take it to heart, I feel. And I will leave it at that. If you missed the meditation challenge, I've got more coming. Something special. Get on the wait list to stay in the loop. It's going to be happening mid-May, very soon. And if you want a 60-minute clarity session to do this for you personalized, the link for that is also below. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the next one.